Hi friends, this is Scott. I'm back in my backyard patio, balcony I should say. We have a deck off the back of our house and we have another deck below. But this one's up about 18, 20 feet in the air and it sits above the street. So we have a lot of privacy with the trees, but as you can hear, the challenge of filming as well as living in the city is all this noise. I live on a fairly busy street with my backyard. It's not the superest busy. It's just a one way each way, one lane, but it is noisy during the middle of the day. And I'm trying to film this about noon, and it is noisy. So it is what it is. Today we're going to go in my backyard, and we're going to go to the little urban orchard I have on the side of the house, and we're going to pick peaches. These peaches are from 2 dwarf peach trees. We get big harvests usually, and it looks like we're going to have another good size harvest. I don't know if the quality versus the quantity is going to be the same. We're going to have to kind of check that out. I have ate a couple of peaches and haven't found any earworms or earwigs yet. They like to get into the stone fruit. So there's holes in the fruit, but I think it's mostly from wasps and things like that, exterior. If you get earwigs, they like to tunnel into the fruit through at the top or the bottom, and then they get into the seed and they actually eat the pit. So they don't eat the flesh, they eat the pit. So they just kind of, you can still use most of the peaches, but it's just kind of a mess when you're cutting open fruit and you find those type of bugs in them. So we're going to see what we get, and then in the next few days we're going to what we'll do is we'll boil the peaches, we'll skin them, we'll cut them up, and then we'll put them in freezer bags with lemon or lime, maybe a little bit of sugar, and then we just freeze them. And then we can pull those out and we can use them in our smoothies or our other fruit drinks or however we want to use them. Sometimes we make, we can make jams or jellies out of them. I don't know if we're going to do that this year. We're pretty busy, and so I don't know if we're going to, if we even find the time to really, get all this crop used. But even when crop goes bad, or if we can't use it all, I'll give it away, or the chickens will get it. And I know there'll be some bug-eating fruit that I'll feed the chickens today, and I gave them a couple yesterday, and they really enjoy that. So anyway, but I also wanted to show you, we've got lots of big zucchini. And if you don't know what to do with your zucchini, you can either, you scoop out the seeds, you grate it up, and you can freeze it also. You don't blanch it. Freeze it in 2-cup containers, and then you can pull them out and make zucchini bread. But today, what I'm going to do with these is, this is how I'm going to keep my chicken eggs, yolks nice and orange. They love this stuff. So I'll throw some scratch in there with them. They'll hollow these out, and this gives them a little bit extra. I'm not letting my chickens out in the yard right now because they'll decimate my vegetables that are growing, my tomatoes and everything else. So they will have free range as soon as the garden is pretty much over with in the fall, and then I let them just kind of go all winter long. I use the backdeeding method. They kick bark all over. The place looks kind of crappy, but in the spring it's easy to put back together. I just got to take a broom out there or a blower and just put the bark back where it needs to go, put the chickens back away, and then start growing again. So anyway, they get in there, they eat my bugs, and they take care of the pests, good and bad, and makes good healthy eggs then too. So anyway, let's go see what we have in the peach department today, and we're gonna have a pretty good harvest, I think. Started, don't know if we'll be able to measure up against last year's bumper crop. We had a huge crop last year. I had 2 trees. We had 10 bags. We put in the freezer 10-gallon bags of beautiful peaches. So we'll see what we get this year. Here we are looking at the first of my dwarf trees, and as I'm seeing, there's a little bit of small fruit. As I peek under here, this tree looks like it's kind of a bummer. Not every year do peaches put out a bumper crop, and this year this one decided to take the year off. I think I probably had 6 or 8 peaches on that tree. But the second tree, as you see, there's quite a few, and they're nice ones. Beautiful. So as we pick these, we'll have to kind of determine whether or not we're going to get a better quality crop, or a quality and quantity, or if we're just going to settle for a little bit less. I'm kind of thinking a little bit less. So here I'm picking one to give you an idea of the size. Some are a little bit bigger than this. That one's not quite ripe, but as I pick through here, there's some nice color. I like to get them a little bit before they're totally ripe. That way they can last a couple days. They smell really good. And just using my harvest basket and just gonna reach around, just kind of take a test and see if they're all ready to go or not. I kind of was thinking I might wait another day or two, but then I think I'll just get them off the tree. If they need to ripen up, they'll ripen up a little in the house. But they're nice size, nice looking peaches. But they're not all ripe. I think I'll leave a few on the tree that I'll let ripen up, and then I'll just have some snacks as I'm doing my gardening here the next week or so. But it looks like there's quite a few, and I'm just kind of taking a look around to see if they're all ripe. Here's a beautiful one. Nice and juicy. Now these are dwarf peach trees. They only grow supposedly 10, 12 feet tall, and that's about what these have done. They're spreading out nicely in this area, and they've shaded out some of my other little beds, but the other trees are doing well with them. I have an Asian pear as well as a festooned apple tree and a pear tree, so there's room for all of them. So it kind of shows you can grow fruit in the city with very little yard space. This is a common side yard that usually goes to waste. There's not a lot you can do with it. So moving vantage points, here's you can see a better view of some of the beautiful peaches that I've got to pick today. There's some really nice ones on this side by the fence. So I'm just digging through here as you see the tree shaking. I'm not filming myself very well in this episode, but that's probably the best. The peaches are better to look at than I am anyway. So anyway, but I'm just filling up the fruit baskets. And it took me a couple baskets to harvest all this fruit today, but these are the best of the best up in this area. As you can see, there's tons of them. Usually they hang over the fence, and my neighbor gets a few, but looks like my trees are kind of staying on their own side this year, so I think the neighbor might be peachless, but he may get a couple over the fence. We'll see. But there's plenty of peaches. Like I say, here's, as you look here, here's the critter, here's the enemy. There's an earwig. Bad bug. We don't like those earwigs. They get inside the fruit, and they actually don't eat the flesh. They eat the stone in the middle, the actual pit. And they got to make a mess of the fruit. You can still eat the fruit, but it just becomes kind of a disgusting situation if you have a lot of earwigs in there. So that's the only one I've seen so far, so let's hope that that's all there is. So here's another vantage point. I'm getting the last of the peaches in I don't know if this is the first or the second basket, I don't remember. But it's filling it up nicely, and I've already, like I say, I ran one load into the house, and I'm just kind of picking through here to see what's left. There's a few small ones you can see here that I'm going to leave on the tree, and these are the ones I'm going to let grow a little bit bigger or ripen up a little bit better, so I'll have some snacks while I'm out here. Seems like that even if you're careful, you always miss a few, and that's fine because they're tasty. It's a nice little refreshing snack when I'm out doing some other things. But there's a nice harvest basket. And here's the common damage that we have in the fruit this year. It's not earwig damage. It looks like it must be wasps or bees. These pests are eating the flesh. They're not getting into the pit. And lo and behold, here's our harvest. And as you see here, as you can compare from the earlier from pictures from last year's harvest, that we got about half of what we got last year. One of the trees just did not produce. The other tree, I think, did just as well, and the fruit looks good quality. So until we dig into these and cut them open, we won't know if they're the bug situation, but we'll see what we get. Today we're just going to boil these peaches, slough the skins off of them, pit them, clean them, and then pack them in gallon bags, freezer bags with lime and some sugar. So here's the first phase of the process. As you see, my favorite job, squeezing limes. I hate squeezing limes, but anyway, it did 15 to 18 limes. I can't remember. Once you pull them out of the boiling water, they are hot. And here's the mess in the sink, but they're so damn hot, you just got to kind of let them cool, and you're burning your fingers and trying to get those skins off because they come off a lot easier when they're really hot. But here's the flesh of the peaches that will end up in the bags. So we got 2 containers full of peaches. So it looks like we had a lot, and guess what? Not one earwig. Amazing. I was really happy about that. Then we mixed them with the lime juice, and then we packed them in bags, and we only got 6 gallons. So compared to last year, as you see how many we had last year, we had 10 gallons of fruit. And this year, we had a nice crop, but we only had 6 gallons of fruit. So last year beat this year by quite a bit. Well, another year has gone by, and I got to dream about next year's crop and hoping we can do better with that other tree. Hey, if you like this kind of content, would like to continue to follow me on my journey in living my best rural life in the city, please subscribe to my channel, like, share, and comment, as I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.